Hello friends and a warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here and today we are going to discuss about Prelims 2023 Set A question number 5. The question mentioned about few special geographical terms such as marshlands, mangroves, salt pans, swamps and run. In the single question all these 5 terms were mentioned, some in option, some in question again. So we'll see what are these terms, what is their meaning, how could question be better solved by knowing these terms, what was the source of question, solution of the question and why it might have been asked to you. Alright, so let's figure out. This was the question. Which one of the following is the best example? So it's asking about the best example. So UPSC has not repeated the pattern 1 pair, 2 pair. The options are clear here and you are supposed to make one choice out of 4. So best example of repeated falls in sea level. This is the first pickup for us. Repeated falls in sea level. Giving rise to present day. And it's talking about the present day. Extensive marshlands. Alright, so these are some pickups. I'll tell you how to decipher them. Okay, so what are the options here? One is Bhitarkanika mangroves. Second is Marakanam salt pans. Third is Nopada swamp. And fourth is Run of Kutch. So the options are in such a way that they tell one the location or the name and secondly the nature of the described geographical feature such as Bhitarkanika. So we already know it's in Odisha. And the nature is told that it is a mangrove. Such in the similar manner, it's told that something is in Kutch, Gujarat. And it is a run or playa. Alright, let's see about these options and how we could have solved the question in a better manner had we known about these terms. So moving forward, the subject for this question is Indian geography and physical geography in a manner. The topic is types of formations at coastlines as we are talking about the ocean or sea level falls. So of course we are talking about the geographical formations near the coastlines. We'll see their individual locations as well. Where these are located and subtopic is formation, types of formation, etc. Okay, so what are the pickups here? Repeated falls in sea level, present day and extensive marshlands, and these are in the options mangroves, salt pans, swamp and run. So what is the theme here of the question? Whether we know these terms or not, and whether we can figure out from these options then what is the way to solve this question, the proper way to solve this question. This question can be stated as a random fact question or random question. But there is, of course, a pattern behind it. There is a way to minimize the randomness. So we'll see what is that pattern, what is that theme. All right. Okay. So theme again becomes formations near coastlines or marshlands, mangroves, etc. All right. Let's see. So let's first figure out what are the locations in the question. So the question talks about Bhitarkanika National Park. It is located on the coast of Odisha. Very famous national park. It has been much into the news, and almost every UPSC aspirants know about it, knows about it. Okay, and it is located very close to the Gadimala Marine Wildlife Sanctuary. Both are very favorable for the turtles, and turtles are often seen nesting here every year. All right. Chilka is also located close. It is also WLS. Okay. So these are some important features here, geographical features here. When we talk about the Naupada swamps, they are also located close by. We will see where. Let's talk about the Marakkanam salt pans. They are located close to the shoreline here in Tamil Nadu. And they are salt pans. They are very small place. We will see. It's a town named Marakkanam, and there are very small salt pans here. Okay, the third one was the Naupada swamp. So this is a feature of the Naupada swamp here. Not very large in area, very small town-like, and rather away from the coastline. This is the coastline, and this swamp is rather away from the coastline. It is not in any sense connected with the coastline. All right. So this is about the Naupada swamp. I have input a better picture here. You can see Naupada here. This is a location or a town. This is the coastline. So it's quite far from the coastline, in fact. Okay, when we talk about the run of Kutch, so these are famous Sir Creek, etc. And from here inside, you go to this run of Kutch, the little run and the greater run. Okay, so run means desert. So when in desert, the salt pans are created, then it's known as run. All right. One more thing you see, when we come to the terms of the question, there are 2-3 things to notice here. One thing is, let's see, this is India. So this location, this place, earlier was submerged under the Tethys Sea. Of which today the remnant is the Thar Desert. So this is one thing. So whenever in desert, at the places where salt concentration is high, and when the monsoon rain fills up these places, the salt comes upward due to the capillary action. Upon evaporation of this water, the huge salt pans are created. All right. However, sometimes, such as in the Tamil Nadu salt pans, the seawater is artificially brought into these specific areas, then drained in a specific manner and dried. And because of that, salt pans are created. When we talk about the repeated falls in sea level, the question hints at 2 things. When it says the present day, that means it's talking about the sea level falls, repeated falls in sea level in the geological past. It's not saying about something that happens regularly. It's talking about the present day. And second, it wants the formation to be extensive. All right. So, of course, if we don't know how extensive are the salt pans in Tamil Nadu or how big is the Naupada swamp or where they are located, we cannot solve this question in general directly. But there are other ways to minimize randomness. Let's see them. And they come up with the nature of the formation. So, why should we eliminate the swamp option when we talk about the seawater? So, let's see this. So, understanding the terms here, marshland. So, these are wetland areas. Let me change the pen color here. So, these are the wetland areas. They are characterized by shallow water, emergent vegetation, that means small vegetation which is coming, and often have a rich organic soil called peat. Marshes are typically found near the edges of lakes, river, estuaries, or coastal areas, and they provide important habitat for various species of plant, birds, amphibians, and insects. This is a one picture here. It's of Chilka Lake. So you can see this emergent vegetation here also upon the coastline, and it's located near a lake. All right, so this area is also known as marshland or various different bodies such as swamp, some are mangroves. Let's see one by one. So what are mangroves? Okay, so mangroves are unique ecosystems found in coastal areas. This one has to be clear. Particularly in tropical and subtropical regions, they consist of salt-tolerant trees. So coastal areas plus salt-tolerant trees. So we are talking about sea, closeness to sea, and shrubs that grow in the intertidal zone where land and sea meet. So there has to be sea when we talk about the mangroves, whether it is Sundarban or anything else. Mangrove forests play a vital role in coastal protection. So they act as a buffer basically. They reduce erosion. They also provide habitat for a wide range of marine and terrestrial species. So this is a picture of mangrove. I'll show you in the next slide here. So this is Sundarbans. And you can see the kind of trees that we talk about, salt resistant trees with various different type of roots. Okay. When we talk about the salt pans, so salt pans are large areas of land where seawater or brine is evaporated. As I told you about, monsoon water or either flooded seawater is evaporated, leaving behind salt crystals. They are typically found in arid or semi-arid regions, as we talked, and salt pans can be natural or artificial, and the process of salt production through evaporation is known as salt pan farming or salt mining. So these are the Marakanam salt pans, as we talked about in Tamil Nadu. Okay. When we talk about the swamp, so a swamp is a type of wetland characterized by waterlogged soils and dominated by trees or shrubs. Swamps are often found in low-lying areas with slow-moving or stagnant water, and they are typically associated with fresh water or brackish water. So when we talk about the swamp, we are mostly talking about any kind of lake or associated with some kind of river, not the sea. So this is one major difference. Okay, this is a deeper bill. A picture from there. You can see a swamp types. When you talk about the RANN, they refer to the large salt marsh or desert located in the northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. So RANN are mostly found, or let's say only found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, etc. The Rann of Kutch, for example, is a seasonal salt marsh. So when we talk about seasonal, we are talking about the monsoon rain, monsoon flooding. So the salt comes up, as I told you, and they're located in the Thar Desert in Gujarat. The Rann experiences extreme temperatures and is characterized by vast stretches of salt flats and marshy areas. It is known for its unique landscape and diverse wildlife. So let's see, this is a one feature from the salt pan area of Rann of Kutch. Let's move forward. So just do not get confused when the question talks about both the things, fall in sea level, and you know that the Rann of Kutch is a seasonal and operated by monsoon. It's not talking about this phenomena, this process, it's talking about how it initially formed in the present day. How the present day marshes took place, but what happened in the geological past, it's talking about that. So do not get confused in such questions. Read the question carefully. It's rather hard to do so when you are in the exam and in hurry, but we can always be more attentive. All right, so let's talk about the differences. So marshland, I have already characterized all these. So we'll just focus on the important portion here. So wetland areas with shallow water and vegetation are known as marshlands. Mangroves are coastal ecosystem with salt tolerant trees. So please remember this, associated with it sea and salt coastal areas. Salt pans, we know it, where seawater or brine is evaporated. Swamp is wetlands dominated by trees and shrubs. And run is large salt marshes or desert in the Indian subcontinent. So we have already seen saltwater are these mangroves, salt pans can be saltwater, of course saltwater, and run is saltwater. These both are freshwater, marshland and swamps. Here are some examples of the marshlands such as Chilka, Vembanad Col in Kerala, Loktak Lake in Manipur. When you talk about mangroves, the famous ones are Bhitarkanika in Odisha, Sundarbans, probably the most famous because of its majestic tigers, and Pichavaram in Tamil Nadu. When you talk about the salt pans, Samar Lake in Rajasthan is also a salt pan. When you talk about the swamp, they are Kebil Lamjao, Deeparbil, Naupada swamp. And when you talk about the run, they are Great Run of Kutch and Little Run of Kutch in Gujarat. Okay, so when we talk about was this question seen before, or was there any hint that this can be asked, or were it in the news? So when you go to Google, of course, different various news can be figured out. Links can be taken from here and there just to make it look like, but the answer is no. The clear answer is no, because these were not in news and these are not interconnected in any manner or sense. These are just, yes, water bodies of some kind or geographical, geological phenomena. So they are in the syllabus, not completely random, but yes, a random question that could not have been predicted. Let's talk about the solution of the question now. So Bhitarkanika mangroves, located in Odisha, India, is a significant mangrove ecosystem. While it experienced tidal fluctuations, it is not primarily characterized by repeated falls in sea level. Rather, it is influenced by the riverine system. Let's talk about this. So Bhitarkanika is located on a junction, we can say. Just a second. At the coastline of Odisha. So it is, yes, connected to the sea, but more influenced by other rivers. So what are these rivers? Which rivers are these? They are Brahmani, Baitarani, Dharma rivers. So please remember all these rivers also. So they are the most influencing factors here in formation of the Bhitarkanika National Park or mangroves. So they have influenced this geological formation more than the rise and fall in sea level. On the other hand, Marakkanam salt pans, they are located in Tamil Nadu. I have shown you the location. They are salt marshes used for salt production. And they are formed in low-lying coastal areas where seawater is allowed to evaporate, leaving behind salt crystals. However, these salt pans do not result from repeated falls in sea level, but they are created artificially. They are created artificially. They are not also very extensive. They are artificially by utilizing the existing seawater. On the other hand, Naupada swamp, which is also known as Naupada wetland, is located in Odisha in India. It is a freshwater swamp. As I told you, it is not connected to coastal body. It is rather inside the coastline. It is not primarily influenced by repeated falls in sea level. Instead, it is formed by the inflow of fresh water from rivers and receives seasonal rainwater. So it is not connected to our question in any sense. The run of Kutch, situated in Gujarat, is the best example among the options provided. It is a vast seasonal salt marsh that experienced significant fluctuations in the sea level due to its geological history. So let's see about this. So thousands of years ago, the run was a shallow arm of the Arabian Sea. Land uplift, that means land has to emerge if the sea level has to fall. Alright, caused by tectonic forces, then closed off the connection with the sea, creating a vast lake that was still navigable during the time of Alexander the Great. So we are talking about almost 323 BC. The region became a seasonal marshy salt desert over the years due to repeated sea level falls. During monsoon, the region fills up with water and forms a wetland. In the summer, the water dries to create a bed of white salty land. So this is about the run of the Kutch. There were almost 60% chance that we could have known especially about the run of the Kutch, as it is a vast land feature. And we could have minimized the randomness by knowing that it is extensive. It has a geological history with the Arabian Sea. And the whole of Rajasthan and Gujarat has a history with emergence, as they have come from another sea, Tethys Sea. That's why the creation of desert here. Alright. So this was the way to solve this question and the extra information that you were supposed to, and I hope you know now as I've explained it. So this was about today's lecture. We'll come up with a new video in the next session. Thank you very much and have a very bright day ahead. Keep studying and keep growing. It's Yatharth here signing off. You can tell me your feedbacks in the comment section if you would like me to continue this series, or you would like me to move on to other topics which are more static or current in nature. So let me know your opinions. Thank you very much. Have a very good day.